me, Nimso. Welcome back to another VR video. Today we are back in ProjectTX. I know it's been a very long time since the last video. There have been many things to be done in the personal world, so I got them done. Yep. And so here we are. Now, there's not many upgrades that I've put into the actual project recently because I've just been up to stuff. But that doesn't mean that there aren't things that need to be answered, questions that need to be answered. So recently there was a video from a channel called Mind Palace of Madness, and that video led to a lot of people seeing this project and seeing my channel and seeing my work, which is brilliant. That's really useful actually, and I've seen quite a large increase in viewers recently, which is brilliant. There we go. Now today's video is not just going to be about answering questions, although that's what I am going to do. It's also got a mechanic that I wanted to show from a while ago. When I say a while ago, I mean it had to be implemented right at the baseline of the game systems. But before I do that, let me just answer a few questions. So the first one, which is very important, is what on earth is this? Because a lot of people have been wondering, is this an engine? Is this a game? What's going on here? So I've got these two posters here, which are completely pointless. There we go. We got one over there, which I can't see. There we go. That's brilliant. Right. Okay. So there are two things that you need to know of in terms of names. One is the ProjectTX, which is the name of the game that I am working on. That's what this will be. These systems will be working in this game, ProjectTX. This is just a temporary name for now. I haven't really thought of a name. Well, actually, I kind of have, but it'll be known to you later. And then on the other side here, we've got Hybrid Presence Engine. Hybrid is the name. Presence Engine is something that I've been trying to coin as a term for a while, since I ever started doing the full Ragdoll physics-based systems for ProjectTX. Before the first video that says ProjectTX on it, actually. It was called Presence System before, but it's not really one system anymore. It kind of handles everything. You know, I've got Locomotion systems, I've got full body systems, all the body posing and everything, you know, being able to do this and go into actual crawl. All of that. I've got the body adaptation systems, all the ragdoll, all the physics, everything, right? It's all connected, it's all there, and the ability to actually change and adapt into different body systems like this, body shapes and whatnot. You've seen all of this, and it's really cool. I can become a Mario, and it actually moves correctly, you know. If I zoom you out a little bit, you can see me actually kind of moving properly, and even the jumps, and even the feet move in a natural way, right? Which is all brilliant. It's all beautiful. That's all this, what I'm calling the Hybrid Presence Engine. And some people wanted to know, is this going to be available to other developers? Will it go on the asset store and stuff like that? Now, what I want to do is, I don't really want to put something like this on the asset store. This has taken me, let's say, just under a decade, 8 years of VR, you know, 8-9 years of VR work and innovation, all kind of amalgamated into this one thing, which can do all of these things all at once. So I don't really want to go with the standard method of putting out an engine or putting out some assets. It's not really as simple as that. What I would like to do is, I'm considering the possibility of licensing down the line, once I've got a kind of game out here, you know, once there's an actual game going on. But that's for then, and now is for now. Now, for those of you who have seen this area before or have watched a bunch of the videos, you'll notice there's a few large structures in the background that have been added here. That's what I was talking about earlier, where there's actually quite a few things that were there before, but you haven't actually seen them. But one of the other questions was about whether this system can handle something like Gorilla Tag. So there we go. We've got all the body adaptation. You've seen the shapes and stuff. And I decided, well, you know what? I'm not going to just answer that question. I might as well show you. So here we go. I'm going to switch into a custom built character model. It's not exactly a character model. It's not an actual avatar model. It's just one that I've built out of the colliders. What you're looking at is the actual shapes of the collision, and you can see the hands are a bit too small. But that's fine. They still work. And if I just go into a crouch, you can see, there we go. And now I have actual Gorilla Tag style mechanics, and I can actually grab things, right? So there we go. I can grab things. I can lift things. Oop. I can lift. Oh, this is very heavy. But there we go. I can actually lift things, grab things, move them around. There we go. Beautiful. And I can even grab guns, for example. There we go. Have we got a magazine? And try and put that in. There we go. A little bit of spinniness there, but there we go. Beautiful. And it works. Brilliant. So there we go. I have actual Gorilla Tag style mechanics, and that's just a simple character swap. There we go. Oh, brilliant. Go away. We'll just grab this ladder. Grab that ladder, and up we go. Oh, I keep messing up because I'm not really used to this character. I just added it for the sake of this video. But there we go. Right? So the ability to actually do exactly what was being asked. Yeah, there we go. Right? So Gorilla Tag style mechanics, it's absolutely brilliant. It's all possible. I didn't need to add any mechanics to the game or anything like that. It's just a simple matter of switching out the avatar, actually using something like that. Now, what other questions have we got on the board? There is one about whether other companies can do... Okay, I'm not even going to bother with that one. It's kind of like, would it be cool to take something like this and push it to a AAA standard? Personally, I don't think that's the way this stuff where it really shines, where there's all this sort of additional polished stuff surrounding it. It's more raw. Everything feels much more fun when it's just raw. Here's the mechanics. There doesn't need to be an on top of it, an over the top high resource beautification. It's much nicer and much more natural when you see it in its raw form. Another question was actually about swords and stuff like that. So let's just pop over here. And people were asking, obviously I've got the stabbing system, which I wouldn't be able to stab here. Did I stab it? No. There we go. Got it into a barrel. There we go. So someone was asking about the stabbing system, the material-based, physics material-based stabbing. And they were wondering, can you actually just... Oop, that's a standard physics problem right there. Can you actually just stab yourself? And that's a great thing for the YouTube algorithm right there, for me to say, but I don't even need to. You can just... Yeah, I showed that in one of the later videos as well, but I think someone commented on a YouTube short, so that wasn't in it. But it was from the same video, so there you go. But there we go. Yeah, some cool little things that you can actually do. Technically you can just do it to yourself like this as well. I mean, I could just... Whoops. Let me try and do that one more time. Yay, there we go. It's stabbed. Right, brilliant. What other questions have we got before I show you the cool thing? Right, okay. So there we go, full body tracking. Right, that's always a good question. Yes, the answer is yes. It's not the short answer, it's the answer. Basically, I have been, you'll have to see one of the earlier videos for this. I've been working a little bit on actually adapting each of the extra bits of tracking to work properly. It's not as simple as just adding a full body tracking. It's like, if you have legs, for example, that are tracking, what should they do when I'm locomoting like this, right? This isn't me physically moving in my space. This is me just floating forward effectively in the game world, while in the real world I'm just standing in one place, right? It's not something that can just happen. How do the legs interact with something like that? Does it work properly? and whatnot. But yeah, so it's just one of those things. You kind of have to have adaptation for everything, and I decided I'm going to do a lot of that before I start showing off things like full body tracking and whatnot in the project. But that's all stuff to come. It's something that you will see quite a bit of once I get stuff in. But right now, it's a matter of setup, and I've had a little bit of time away effectively before getting that done. Now, let's pop over to here, because another question was about NPCs. This actually came from that YouTube channel that had recently talked about the game. And so you can see this purple guy over here. This guy is a ragdoll. You can see he's just literally there, right? Here's his arm. Very good. Excuse me, you look away. Yeah, he's got some idle animations on him. You know, he can actually stand. He can stand. He's very, very balanced, except for when you manage to push him down. Sometimes he will fall. Sometimes he will survive. You know. So yeah, you can grab him from the head and, you know, there we go, drag him around. It's really nice to be able to, you know, drag around a ragdoll, and yeah, he has a lot of stability to him. Basically, you know, you can push him around, and it's quite he's quite strong as well in terms of strength, actual strength. The way this works is this is using the exact same thing as my actual player ragdoll. So in terms of strength, he has the exact same setup as me, right? Which means also that you can swap out the avatar. Now I can't do that right now. There's a lot of things going on here that are not running in this build right now. You know, he just idles. He doesn't walk around. He doesn't idle. He doesn't kind of glance around. He doesn't do combat yet or anything like that. It's all just disabled. If I were to run through the Jenga blocks, if I were to switch out to someone a little bit more strong, it's a little bit more fun, because then you can knock him out. I love it. Right, and then you can kind of grab him and throw him around. Ooh, I've got his arm there. There we go. Beautiful. It's absolutely brilliant. Does this? Oh, it missed. Yeah, that thing is just for testing. But yeah, you can see here. It's absolutely fun. It's brilliant. You can grab him like this and just swinging him around. Whee! Brilliant. And his arm is a little bit broken now. Come on, fix your arm. Fix your arm. There we go. You have fun. And there we go. So there's more to come with the ragdolls. The way they work is that they actually do exactly what the player systems do as well. But of course, they are fully capable of falling down and everything like that. Which leads me on to the new stuff, which is also very old stuff. It was in since the very beginning of the game's game character controller. I can't even speak today. It's one of those things, which is full tilting. I call it full tilting in my settings here. So here we go, settings, full tilt. I don't know if you can actually see that on the screen, but you should be able to. Nope, I have no idea. Right, full tilting. I'm not going to switch it on right now. I want you to see from the outside. Boink, there we go. And what it does is currently it allows me to rotate the actual character controller. So again, this could be full physics. In fact, up until now, right now, the entire player system is a full ragdoll. No collision exists outside of the ragdoll that you're seeing here. So being able to rotate the player is just a natural part of that, and I don't know why it's taken me so long to show it off, but it's one of those things, that's what you do. So here we go. If I switch it on, and right now it's just for tilting based on the ground, but later on it will allow you to do a lot more than that. But right now, here's what you can see, is as soon as I walk on that surface, you can see it tilts me. It's absolutely brilliant, right? It's beautiful. There we go, right? And that is cool because it means that wherever... it doesn't affect gravity right now either. So if I were to go over to here, right, and for example this ball, let's just get you rolling, and then as I stand on top of it, whoop, it's trying to balance. Oh, it does correct me, right? It does correct me as soon as I land, or at least as soon as I've gone in complete mid-air, right? It corrects me. So it's not a problem. You don't completely fall down right now, although I do want to add something like that. But it is a bit heavy on the head, on your real head, right? It's disorienting to say the least. But it's really fun to do. And of course, that's what all of these random large spirals and everything are about. I actually took these models from the 360 chicken game that I've been working on. Please do check out my channel to see more of that. But until then, let's just try and right, I'm gonna try and stand on this as I tilt, and then oh, there we go. Now I can have a lie down. Brilliant. It's wonderful. I do want to try and run something that'll actually allow the player to fall down like that. But until I've actually done something cool, we want to see something better. Now, if I were to try and run up those ramps as a regular Joe, then I would fall right down. So what we actually need is to switch to Sonic, which is brilliant because now we can run real fast, and of course we can tilt on the ramps and stuff like that. So there we go. We can tilt. Oh, I moved the camera the wrong way every single time. And so now we can actually tilt on the ramp and of course jump right off of it, right? Which is brilliant because if we were to go over there, whee, jumping over the pool, hell yeah. So now we can actually perform the full loop. Is the camera in zoom mode? Yeah, it needs to be quite zoomed out. We can now perform the full loop and of course run the whole thing. It is insane. This is beautiful. So there we go. Now we've got an actual Sonic game running in VR just by switching avatar. It is beautiful. And of course we are still in full physics. We're still full ragdolls. We can still grab things like this and run with them and carry on running. Woohoo! It's just right down. Whee. And there you go, right? So you can pick up some guns, be running upside down. It's absolutely beautiful. This is insanity. And this was in since the very beginning of the project because it had to be, right? For example, for the legs and stuff like that, all the additional systems that work on the character controller need to be aware that the entire character will be rotating, right? The entire player system can rotate. So it's not as simple as just adding it in later. I had to do this right from the very beginning, and it is absolutely beautiful. Woo-hoo! And then we can skydive and land flat, face first into the ground. Dive into the water, switch back to normal, and there we are. Beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. How do you like that, eh? It's absolutely wonderful. For everyone who was waiting for a new video, I do apologize. It is not exactly what you were expecting, but it is pretty cool nonetheless. I hope I've explained a bunch of things that are really neat, that needed explaining, to be honest. But it's one of those things. It's just I haven't had too much time to work on the project itself. There's a lot of other things to be handling, including, for example, funding. Woo! Oh man, I love running around and jumping around like this. So including dealing with the funding and documents and stuff like that. There's a lot of work to be done. But in regards to that, I do have a Patreon, so I really hope if anyone can join that. If you'd like to join that, go ahead and check that out. I don't post as often as I used to recently, but I'm going to be reposting again. I'm going to be speeding up all of my processes because now I'm back at work, and it's going to be wonderful, right? So there was a lot of things that I needed to get done, but until now, I have been a little bit slacking, but there we go, right? It's just how it is. Let's just get one more loop in here before I let you let you go and have your tea, because it's tea time for me anyway. So I will see you. Whoop, let me switch back into the normal character. I'll see you in the next video when that comes, which will be very, very quick, because I've got some Ragdoll work to do and some other things to do. Do check out my Patreon and check out a lot of the other videos around this, because this one didn't show you everything that has been shown. There's a heck of a lot of stuff going on behind me right here. So I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.